Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Big Mistakes in Real Estate, where we make your career that much better, because nobody knows everything, right? So we're coming into you not with the checklist episode. Again, it's almost a running gag on this show. We're going to be coming in today with your geographic farm. I went through and did the most extensive research ever and came up with every little tidbit of advice on all these different podcasts and all these different YouTube videos, consolidated it into this show. And that is right after this.
Everyone makes mistakes, but these mistakes can cost you thousands in commission. Are you a real estate agent? Then listen up and learn from the Big Mistakes in Real Estate podcast with your host, Isaac Ocean.
What's up, everybody? I am the host of the show. I'm Isaac Ocean. We come out with all new episodes every single Monday at 4 o'clock. So make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. We are going for an astounding 13 likes on this episode. So if you're down below and you don't see a like on here, smash that 13 different times. So let's jump straight into the meat, as we always do on this show. So the first thing I want to start off with is, what is a farm in real estate? Basically, a farm in real estate is just a place that you continually advertise, or that you are known in that neighborhood as the real estate agent of choice. And that's no easy feat. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of time to get that status in that specific neighborhood. And you do these things by buying neighborhood, like hyper specific websites. So for instance, there's a place down here called Parrot Cove. Well, I have a website called parrotcoveproperties.com. That's because I want on my advertising, when I advertise to my farm, that to have a hyper-specific website on there. That makes me seem like I would be the obvious choice of real estate agents when your website's stevejobs.com or buyfloridahouses.com and mine is your neighborhood. Who do you think you're going to choose? What website are you going to visit? You're going to go to mine because you live in that neighborhood. I wonder what's on this bad boy. What else are they bringing to the website that's on there that I don't know? That is basically a farm in a nutshell. You want to become the go-to real estate agent in your farm. So why farm? So you sell a heck of a lot more houses than you would normally. Next, any house that comes up for sale, you might not get every listing in the farm that you choose, but you will go on quite a few listing presentations in that neighborhood, at least putting your hat in the ring to see if you can even get the listing. And then that's on your listing chops, what you got. So on top of that, you get local celebrity status. Whenever you go out to eat, people know who you are. When you walk down the street, people will literally say hi. It's kind of insane. And this builds trust, because now when people have a real estate question inside of this farm, they are going to know who to ask. And I wonder who that's going to be. It's going to be you, trusty realtor, who's been mailing me mailers for the last year and a half that I'm going to call and reach out for that listing presentation. That's why you're trying to build up this reputation that you want. Again, this is super hyper local, so you're going to become the local expert. There's quite a few reasons to become and have a farm and become the local expert. How big should your farm be is our next question. And it can be, depending on your city. I've seen single buildings hold over 1,000 residents. So that's a lot of mailers, all right? 1,000 people for one mailer in one building. You know, buildings can get pretty big. Or you can do it by a neighborhood. You can do it by a zip code. You can do it by a city. Once you get up to the state level, that's insane. I've never heard of anybody farming the state of Florida, but normally it's hyper-specific. So you want to keep it low, because these advertising and what we're going to be talking about, you're going to be paying one way or the other, and we'll get to that in a second. So start with one neighborhood, okay? I know this is going to sound crazy because you know what you're doing, but if this is something that you have never done and you are brand new to an area or brand new to building up your farm, start small. Don't go crazy. Try to stick like 500 or less mailers. Like, depends on, like, you could be like, oh, I want to do the whole building. But if the building's 1,000 tenants, that's a lot of money to spend in mailers just to try to figure something out when you could start much smaller and then figure it out and then scale it bigger and bigger and bigger until you're finally where you want to be. But you are going to learn a lot about advertising, about what's working, about what's not. You're going to want to tweak your mailers. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's going to go into this, and you're just going to learn as you do. You can watch as many YouTube videos or podcasts as you want, but until you do it, you will not understand the process. So you want to have these people like 500 mailers or less. So 500 people you're trying to mail to. And then on top of that, we're going to be talking about how to kickstart, because the first thing that you have to do is kickstart your farm, because you can slowly advertise. I'll give an example. You advertise once every month with a monthly market update, which is boring as hell, by the way, but you're going to do like a one mailer every single month. Well, by month 12, maybe 10% of your farm knows who you are, and that's not very effective use of your money or advertising. So if you go ahead instead and do a kick off your farm campaign, so for 90 days, you send one mailer every 10 days or one touch, as in like an open house or a phone call or an email or a personalized letter, a door knock, a door hanger, whatever it is, you need to be in front of their face 9 times in 90 days. Okay. I know that's, it's a number I kind of pulled out of my butt. You could do 10 times in 100 days if you want. But honestly, if you don't do this, like, you have to show them your face a whole bunch up front, and then they'll remember you. But if you never show them your face a whole bunch up front when you're trying to kick off your farm, it is not going to work, and it's going to fall on its face. Trust and believe. I was here and I made this mistake because I thought I knew what I was talking about. This is actual real life advice that can save you a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of pain. So you're going to pay for this one way or the other. You're either going to do sweat equity, which is what everybody calls you actually putting in the work to put on the door hanger or to knock the door actually, or you're going to pay it with credit card or debit card or cash. So you have those two options: work for it or pay for it. Pick one. And if you're broke, you know which one you're going to pick. Congratulations. And even if you have money, I do not recommend that you only spend money for advertising. Having some FaceTime, like open houses and being physically in the neighborhood, goes a lot further than just a mailer. I can tell you that also from personal experience. So you want to stack in your 90 days, your 9 touches in 90 days. You want to stack on top of everything that you can, your mailers, your open houses, your Facebook advertising, whatever you're going to be doing. You want to stack it and make sure that there's a bunch of different touches. Have you ever heard that not everybody learns the same way? Some people learn from saying or learning from people talking. Some people learn from reading. Some people learn from doing. Well, everybody learns different, and everybody likes their advertisements differently. So you're still advertising being in the community and holding an open house, but they're seeing you in a different light. Instead of just all the ads that they get from all these other real estate agents trying to do the farm, you're not just sending ads, are you? Here you are in the neighborhood. I just got your ad on Monday, and you're over here on Friday doing an open house, and that's awesome. That makes you look great. So your credit, with your cash, or if you have the cash at hand, you're going to be doing your mailers, your business cards, your emails, your whatever you can. So sweat equity is your open houses, your door-to-door, some door hangers. And if you are seriously strapped for cash, you can go to your broker and ask them if you can print off 500 door hangers for free and just see what they say. But ask if you don't have the cash for it. They can only say no. And who's going to say no to a real estate agent who's like, I'm going to huff it down the street putting these bad boys out for you and this company? Nobody's going to say no to that. So on top of everything else, how you stack all of your different advertisements, it's how you end your 9th one that's going to be important. And this is going to be, especially for the people who have money, who don't want to do the open houses, because I recognize that people are people. You don't want to do it, you're just not going to do it. It's not that complicated. So you need to figure out a different way to do it. Well, handwritten notes, and guys, you guys are going to turn your head and vomit a little bit. I'm going to get a little bit more in depth in here. Handwritten notes that you pay for. Yes, sir. That is a thing. I found a website. I'm going to post it down here in the show notes. I found a website that does handwritten from, like, looks like it's from you, handwritten notes that you can send and tailor to all of your farms. So it looks like you took the time to handwrite all of these letters. They are way more expensive than mailers, but if you don't have the time, but you do have the money, they are totally worth it. As your last mailer, your last one before you just start sending regular, because you have to continue your campaign in your farm. This is just the kick off so people know who you are. So when you send mailers, they're like, oh, wow, Isaac got another one of these listings. Okay, cool. So this is just the kickoff campaign. But once you continue every month, just sending them something, or even every 3 weeks, you don't have to go crazy. Once you have it established, it's just the establishing part that takes some time, takes some effort, takes some money. So all this stuff is going to be really, really worth it in the end. So handwritten notes at the very end of it gives that final touch of, wow, these people really do care, and they're really different than the other real estate agents in my community. So another great tidbit is if they have a community website or a building website. So I told you before, for my farm that I have right now, it's called Parrot Cove. It's pretty small. It's just like 458 homes, single family homes inside of this. It has a 7% turnover. We're going to get to why that's important in just a minute. And this whole area has one website that they own, the community owns and runs. And they actually have 2 advertising slots on the website that you can pay like $500 a year and you can get on there, which is freaking awesome. So if you're trying to break into a farm at a specific area and they have one of these websites, make sure you're the one on their actual community or building website. Why not? Be everywhere in that community that you can. So what should you put on your mailers? And this question is one. All right, let me say it. I'm going to get real with you guys. Your mailers suck. They suck. Nobody cares that you listed a house. Nobody cares about any of this stuff. All it really is with your mailers, and the only thing that you're actually accomplishing with the way that you're doing your mailers is just simply name recognition. And nobody cares about it. You're not providing any value to any seller, any buyer, or anyone putting a just listed postcard and sending it into the mail to the same neighborhood that it's listed in. That's real talk right there. There is no value in that whatsoever. So I would like to encourage you to not do that anymore and give you a gigantic list of really good ideas that people actually care about, and they will save your postcard instead of just throwing it into the garbage, which is seriously like what happens. And if you become the realtor of choice inside of your farm, they will save far more of these than you ever would believe. It is bonkers. So I'm going to get into some of these. Here's 12 quick ideas, and I'm going to be reading these off a list. So if I'm not looking directly at the camera, don't take it personal. So number 1 is you want to add value. This is the most important thing to take away. No one cares about the just listed house. Okay. So second, what's happening in your city? Okay. And I mean, literally, it doesn't even have to be in the neighborhood that you're trying to farm. It could be local things that are happening in your city. Are there big concerts coming up? Are there farmers markets coming up? Are there beach cleanups coming up? This is an amazing, amazing way to give value to clients who might not know about all these community events, because most communities are horrible at advertising. Lake Worth Beach, I'm looking at you. That's where I live, and there's events that happen all the time here, and I don't even know what's happening in my own city, and I'm a real estate agent, and I'm on top of this stuff. It's like they try to hide the events. Well, if you're the one making mailers to send to these events, not only will everybody in the city just love you because you're advertising for all of their events, and you're just throwing your face on there. Hey, local realtor here, just making sure you guys are aware of all these different cool events happening this week in downtown Lake Worth Beach. You want to check out this at the beach, and we have a beach cleanup, and the turtles are coming out, and it's time for the eggs. Do you see where the value goes? Or wait, let me flip it. Hey, I just listed this house. There's no difference. There's a huge difference between those two things. One is really exciting and providing value, and the other one's like, you're kind of talking about yourself a whole lot. So another good mailer, what days do they pick up the garbage? Like seriously, like a lot of people do not know the regular garbage schedule. And I know this sounds stupid because you're like, why would people not know the garbage schedule? I don't understand it at all. You know what? Me neither, but it works. And I don't know why, because I know I have my calendar when my garbage comes, but these postcards, people will take that postcard. If their kid's not taking out the garbage, that postcard that you sent that was now going to go in the trash, not going in the trash now. It's going on the fridge and putting it on there with a magnet because my kid's not taking the garbage out, and now he knows the schedule, and now he can't give me any more excuses. Beautiful. Do you see the difference? So here's another one, and this does have to deal with garbage, but spring pickups. Spring cleanups, when everybody's doing, there's like that one bulk pickup that every city has, and I have no idea when my next one is. I'm a real estate agent. Again, this is stuff that if somebody sent this to me, I would save. And this is why you want to send it to your customers. And I want to go, this isn't the right book, but this is where I am. I'm going to put a book in the show notes because if you are interested in learning about why these techniques work, because this isn't the right podcast for that, but there is a book out there that I read that is crazy good. I forgot the title of it off the top of my head. I'm going to put it in the show notes down below. Check it out. I don't know if I make money on it. It could be an affiliate link. It could be not. I don't know. I don't handle that part, but assume that I make 20 cents on you buying the book if you click the link. So if you do, I appreciate that 20 cents. All right. So happy holidays. Okay. This is another thing where it's happening in your community, and I need somebody to provide value because I don't know what's happening in my community. During every holiday, I live in Florida. We don't get a lot of snow. We get bubbles. Well, when the bubbles come out and they use that for like fake snow, well, that event happens at a different day every single year. And I don't know when it was. I missed last year because they rescheduled it for whatever reason. So all of these little events for holidays that people would want to know, time, place, and what the event is. And then make it in a nice card that somebody could literally put on a magnet on their fridge. Make your advertisements look beautiful. Go to Fiverr.com. Go pay a graphics designer, because don't use these templates. These templates are terrible. They are awful. And if you want to steal from somebody, I will give you one of my monthly market updates below in the show notes. I will link to it, and you can have my monthly market update that I literally send my own farm. You guys can take a look at the template. I spent a lot of time working on it. I spent a lot of time with a designer to have it designed, and it knocks everybody out of the park. Check it out if you don't check out anything else. Another monthly market update or another mailer that you could do is all the homes sold that month and all the homes that hit the market that month, only in that neighborhood. So if you have that list, you send it out to all the people so they keep up to date in your neighborhood, and they know that you are watching their neighborhood very, very closely because you, my friend, are the neighborhood expert. Fantastic. So another idea is reminders to vote. I know not everybody votes. I don't care what your political views are. I said a reminder to vote, not whether you're Democratic, Independent, or whatever. So just a simple reminder of where the voting places are, what days they are, what times they are. It shows that you are an active member of the community. And if you want to sabotage your career, pick a political party on your advertisement and watch your career be cut real quick. So yeah, keep politics out of the advertisements. So again, another thing is what's happening. just for this this week. So show me the events. Who's playing concerts? Is there a farmer's market going on? Is there that beach cleanup? All that other stuff. And you're just trying. And this is a weekly mailer, by the way. You could literally create an entire campaign just on providing the value of what's happening every single week. And everybody will keep your card because they're going to take your card. They're going to give it to their friend Susie, who's like, oh, like, here, this is what's going on this week. Here, check it out. They're going to keep your card and they're going to put it on the fridge to show their husband. They're going to show their husband, not maybe your face on the back, but you're going to be brought up in conversations like, this is cool. This guy's cool. I like when we're going to sell our house, we're going to go with this guy, but I'm going to go hit Benny's on the beach right now for omelets tomorrow because I'm going to save some turtles because now I know it's happening because of this card. There's a huge difference in value there. And I really hope that this is coming across. Because I'm not talking about, showing everybody in a postcard that you have a listing. Nobody cares. So another thing that you can actually team up with, this one's pretty cool because you can team up with other businesses. Boom. I'll give an example. So there is a new restaurant down here in Lake Worth that's coming in called Roxy's. All right. It's a really cool little eatery like Denny's. It's a diner. So when they're coming in, I'm going to go talk with them later in this week. I'm going to try to team up with them to do some advertising for them, but to let everybody in my farm know that Roxy's is opening. Boom. Now I'm teaming up. I got half my advertisement bill paid for with this other person who's running their own business and trying to advertise themselves. Now I'm going to team up with them, split their advertising costs. I'm going to advertise over here. They're getting promoted. I'm getting promoted. And I look like a freaking hero. This business hasn't even opened yet. And I'm planning on helping them advertise. Who do you think is going to be, the market leader in this area? Not only am I advertising to my farm, but now I have this business owner who's obviously doing good for themselves, who's just about to open up a brand new business. Now I know who they are. And not only that, but I tried to help their business. What do you think they are going to do when it comes time to sell their house? They're going to call me. They're not going to call anybody else. So you have mailers about local farmers markets, and you can become your city's promoter via mail. This is the goal. This is the goal right here, to provide enough value that you are promoting over and over and over your city so that you are the number one realtor without being, all about yourself, just talking about you and the listings and I sold this many homes and blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. What have you done for me lately? What have you done for me? And if you're providing all this value, I'm telling you guys, this is amazing. All right. So I already talked about buying the hyperlocal website. So whenever you're doing these mailers, make sure that the website doesn't say www.isaacocean.com, which I actually own, by the way. You should visit it, www.isaacocean.com. But what I'm talking about is if you're trying to break into a neighborhood, say that neighborhood is called Diamond Cove. Well, then you would buy www.diamondcove.com. And that website would redirect to your website. And if you don't know what a redirect is, it just takes you from, do you ever put a URL in there and it takes you to another website? Same idea. You can do that. So then you go to this website for the farm, but it takes you to your website, so you don't have to keep building and buying different websites. It's like $13 a year to own the website, and then you just forward it to your website, and it makes your advertisements look that much hyper local. This is a gem of a tip. Guys, if you don't do anything on your advertising, but you do this, you will get more calls. There is extensive testing done specifically on this technique. Keep it in mind. So where do you get? You want me to mail to all these different roads? How do I get all these? How do I get all these addresses? Okay, like I picked my farm. I got my farm, and we're gonna go over, by the way, how to pick your farm, how to do the actual math on your farm, and everything. This is the most extensive thing on farming I have ever found on YouTube. I am telling you. So where do you get your mailers? You can get your mailers from a couple different places. For me, I went with my title company because my title company was just awesome when I first started. She walked me through literally everything. Shout out to Susan Anderson, who will be a guest on the show in the next couple of weeks. She walked me through every single thing that I needed to do in my list to get all the mailers for my area. And it was very similar to an MLS search. I literally highlighted the area in the map that I wanted. Then I cut it out. Then I uploaded and ripped all the addresses from there. Then I had to refine the search down to single family homes. I didn't want any condos because my advertising was specifically for single family homes. And if you're going to do this, make sure I would suggest that you target only one, either single family homes or condos or whatever specific type of real estate you want to sell. Specify that before you do this. And that's going, then I cut all of the single family homes out, and my list, I had like 458, somewhere right around there. And then I got rid of some doubles. And she walked me through the entire process. I'm going to be coming out with a training video to literally walk you through how to do this. And it's pretty easy to figure out how to do this, by the way. You can go on IMAP, also IMAPP. I am a Florida real estate agent. I do not know if you have access to IMAP, but there they do have an extensive list of just stuff you can literally just pull out, download it. It's free. All to get the list to advertise, free. Don't pay for it. So other types of marketing that you can do while you're in the community to become the go-to realtor and have this farm really produce a lot of listings is community events. You can hold them. You can let people know what community events are going on. You can do, like I knew one real estate agent that did, what was it called? Not the farmer's market, garage sale. They did a literally neighborhood long garage sale. It had so much stuff inside of here. Almost every single neighbor contributed and helped out. It was nuts. It was actually really cool. So another thing that you can go to become your real estate agent of choice is to know what the laws and know what's happening in your community. And with that, what I mean is go to your local boards, go to your townhouse meetings, be a part of your community. If they're voting on something, know what they're voting on. Isn't that a good thing? You should know all of that stuff. And make sure you join the local Facebook group. So normally for each individual neighborhood, there's usually, because everybody's pretty well versed in technology, especially Facebook, normally there's already a group for your area to, so you won't have to create one, but join it, become a member of it. Because this does another thing, by the way. So you join the Facebook group, and guys, this is one of those creative things that like I haven't heard anywhere else. This is awesome. So you join the Facebook group. You go up to all their friends, okay, in that group, because you can see the list of everybody who's a part of that group. Friend request every single person who's a part of that group, every single one. Now people are getting friend requests, not from a company or a random person. They're getting friend requests from you. And a lot of these people will just accept them without even knowing who you are. Or maybe your advertising has been so effective that now they all know who you are and can't wait to accept your friend request. Both of those are pretty cool. Both of those are really good. So now you're not just farming the area in person, you're farming the area online. You're doing two different attacks simultaneously. And you really want to focus in on doing exactly that, both sides, in person and online. So the general advice for turnovers, okay? And what I'm talking about turnover is if there are 100 homes in your farm, you want to have a turnover of 6% or more. Okay, so what that means is if there's 100 homes in your farm, you want 6 of those homes to be sold every single year. That's the target goal, is generally 6%. So I've heard people talk about things like 12% turnover, 13% turnover. I don't know where your territory is, but I looked and looked and looked, and I spent hours and hours and hours. I think I spent 2 full days doing my research and my homework, because each time you pick a farm that you're thinking or considering about using, you have to do the same thing for each farm. And it can, if you're looking at 50 different farms and trying to pick the one from the 50 different farms that would best suit you, it's going to take a minute. This is not a rushed process, and if you're looking for that, this is not it. Maybe farming's not for you. You do not produce crops right away. It takes a long time. That's why they call it farming. So I have never seen anything above 8%. Ever. I'm down here in Palm Beach County. It's just non-existent, not at least not in the areas that I was looking. I could not find anything above 8%. I found a few things below 6%. Obviously, those just got ex-nayed right away. But the areas that I did find and the area that I chose was about 7.5%. Just in that area. And that works for me. I was happy with that turnover. Because remember, all right, so let's go back to our example of 100 homes in your farm. So if there's 100 homes in your farm and only 6% gets sold every year, that's only 6 homes. Well, you're not going to get every single listing. You're just not. You might go on 6 different listing presentations and get 3, but you're not going to get every single one. It's possible, but statistically speaking, you're not going to get all 6. So keep that in mind, because if you want to get 20 listings every single year and you're only farming to an area that have 6 homes sold every single year, well, that's only 6 homes. You're 14 homes short of your goal, and that's only if you sell every single one of those 6 homes. That's why having multiple ways of advertising and your fingers in many, many, many pots is very important in real estate. Put all your eggs in one basket and drop it, and you lost a whole lot of money. So that's obviously not good. So who else is farming your area? That's going to be pretty important, because some of these real estate agents out here have a lot of money. And I don't know if you do or not, but they do. And you're going to be competing with them, and they will spend their money. They have been established. They've been here for years. They will compete with you, and some of them will try to outspend you if you are spending money. And they definitely will. And you need to know if that's worth a battle you want to fight. Because some of these real estate agents ain't gonna stop. They're just not, and that's a beautiful thing. It's America. So make sure your competition isn't too high in that area. Now, I have a challenge for all of you, because there is one problem of all of this that I could not solve. How can I tell if there is a competitor in that area? The only way that I have figured out to do that is to figure out who the top 5 real estate agents are in your area, and then look how many sales they have in your farm on the MLS. And that takes time. This has been recommended, and I did not do this, by the way. I took this from another video who said to do this, but my only issue with this is, how'd you do it? Because I can't figure out how to make that an obvious thing, even for myself. And if any of my viewers know the answer to this question, please reach out to me, because I will have you on an episode to share specifically how to figure that out, because that is something I would like to know myself, especially now that I'm starting to expand to other farms. So we're always looking to be offering value. So if obviously start a Facebook group if there's not one. Like if you go look for a Facebook group for this neighborhood and there's not a Facebook group, start one. Boom. It's that easy. It's free. It's not hard. If you don't know how to do it, go to YouTube University and type in how to start a Facebook group. Not complicated. So also you can do things like show up randomly and do neighborhood drop-offs. You can drop off toilet paper, fresh fruit, candy bars, whatever it is that you decide to do. It's not about what you drop off. It's about you actually putting in the effort and caring about this neighborhood that matters. And then your monthly video updates, I recommend that you do videos. Do you see I'm already on video? So this works for me. This is my personal favorite medium. So monthly video updates on what sold and what hit the market this month, because that stuff actually matters to them. But don't do it in a mailer. Do it in a video. Like I told you, Some people learn differently, and some people want to be advertised to differently. Every single person's doing the monthly market update with the mailer. It's boring. Do something, and you'll see in the link below, that picture of the postcard, that is a mailer, and that's my monthly market update. That one's not boring. Check mine out, and you will see the difference between like the piece of crap mail you pick up and you're like, what is this? Who would do, what template did you pull this off of? I don't understand. So you can see the difference by just make sure you slam in that value button. So, and then afterwards, it's about the consistency. This whole episode was basically about how to catch fire to your farm immediately so that they know who you are. That's what you want to do. You want to make sure that you're pretty much getting in front of them as many times as you can without being annoying, which can happen, as many times as you can so that they know who you are, so that when you consistently start to advertise after that, you already have that reputation established. And that's why it's so important. So how do you actually find turnover? And we're going to get to that right after this.
Are you learning? Good, because that's the point. But do me a favor. Subscribe if you have not already. And if you're feeling really frisky, give me a review on your favorite podcast player. Now back to the show.
And those reviews really do help, guys. If you made it this far in the show, thank you so much. Can you hit that like button? We really are going for, what did I say, 13 likes. Hit that like button if it's not already there. Hit that subscribe button because we are coming out with some really, really cool content. So here we go. So how to find out your actual turnover. And this is super easy for each neighborhood. All you do, you go into your MLS, and you know that little tool, that squiggle line tool that you can highlight around any neighborhood? You're going to bust that tool out. You're going to figure out which farm you want. You are going to highlight that entire farm. The next thing you're going to do is to filter it by closed or sold or whatever's in yours. My MLS says closed. So I filter by closed. And that'll give me how many homes in that area have actually closed. And then I change the date for the past 365 days, 1 year from today's date. Then that'll give me another number. Then I refine my search even further to make sure it distinguishes what I'm looking for. Are you looking for single family homes? Are you looking for condos? All of that stuff matters. I refine my search to single family homes. And then I hit enter. That gives me a number of the single family homes that were sold in the last 365 days for my target farming area. Now I take the number of homes that were actually sold. Let's say it was 6. Let's say there was 100 homes in my target farm market. I divide those two and I find out my percentage. Now with those easy numbers, I know it's 6%. So, but that's how you figure out, and you have to do that over and over and over and over again to find which farm is perfect for you. And that's okay. I mean, this part takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, and it's totally worth it. Take the time, take the effort, trust and believe I made this mistake. This was my big mistake. One of my very many big mistakes in real estate. So that's it for this episode. And
on the next episode of Big Mistakes in Real Estate.
On the next episode of Big Mistakes in Real Estate, I am going to be interviewing one of the people from the mortgage lending peeps out there. I forgot what they were called. I'm like, not and this is unedited too. I totally brain farted right there. Oh, the loan officer. That's what it's called, the loan officer. So we're going to be going over the loan officer. We're going to have an interview with Josh Ulmer, which is going to be amazing. He's one of my personal friends. We're super close, and he knows his business. So we're going to figure out everything that we've always wanted to know about loan officers and all that good stuff next Monday at 4 p.m.